We have begun. So, good evening to all. So, this is 7GSTF, and I don't.
I'm Nikhil Mehra, avid sports fan, and my good friend is 7 GSTF decided that he wanted to do a podcast on sport, and I was very happy to join.
So, we are mostly going to be covering Indian sports on this channel, generally speaking. Couple of exceptions here and there, but Indian sports in general. So that means that while we are covering football, we will cover ISL from time to time. But the point is, the major focus will obviously be on the European League, since a lot of Indians follow that as well. So, to begin with, Champions Trophy, there's no running away from it. And there's a whole bunch of hullabaloo, we can say, has gone on with it. Lots of good stuff, bad stuff, and ugly stuff, everything in between. So, let's begin, why don't we? The viewers can definitely suggest if this name is appropriate. So, let's begin with cricket, because that's where we are. Yeah, I think this is the story which is appropriate to start with. I mean, Miller's 100. Just tell me, stat padding, wasn't it?
I see. Look, anytime a guy can score that quickly, even at the end, isn't stat padding per se, but yeah, it's a really, really badly constructed innings. But their whole innings was badly. What was Temba
I'll just
Bavuma
pull
doing
up
at the
the
start?
scorecard. Yeah, fine. Yeah. You carry on, carry on. I'll just pull up the
What was
scorecard.
Temba Bavuma doing at the start? He created so much pressure for them. And you're right, Miller was 45, I think, or 47 balls, or 47 or 45 balls. And then he makes his last 50 odd runs of just 20 odd balls. With that assault needed to come earlier, reduced to being 99, needing 99 in 3 overs. That's where the error happened, right? Like you cannot fall into that trap. 99 of 8 overs,
This is
9 overs
better.
is also something that you can practically try. But
Yeah, agreed.
you cannot do. And so from 99 needed in 3 overs, that's when he went on his assault. You can imagine the bowlers are also not bowling with the same venom anymore. So it suddenly looks
Just
like
look at
100 or
this.
67 balls and looks wonderful.
No, but Bavuma is the greatest example of a test batter in an era where you really don't need him in an ODI, in my opinion. Forget T20s. T20s, he shouldn't have even been considered. And he was in the T20 World Cup 2024. He was in the final, by the way. He played in the final. To give you an example of how bad team selection in South Africa is, and they're not a team known for this much of dysfunction. But this 56 of 71 is fine in a 250 chase. It's even fine in a 300 chase. I have no issues with that. It's not fine in a 360 chase.
I
And
agree.
this was
I agree.
this
If
for
he
all.
is going to do that and you decide he's the one who's going to do that, then Rassi van der Dusen can't be 69 or 65.
The thing is, Rassi didn't play a bad innings. Temba
No,
Bavuma
it's not
played
a
an
bad innings.
abysmal innings.
The point is, individually, it's not a bad innings. If you're right, if Bavuma had the same strike rate as Rassi, then you
Yeah,
perhaps
yeah,
end up with that last 100 needed of 8 overs, 9 overs, and then
yeah,
you're still in the
yeah.
game.
You can do that. You can do that. Definitely possible. But I mean,
Now it would
if
have
we
still been bad. It would have still been behind the game, but you're at least you give yourself a chance.
And honestly, for me, Temba Bavuma needs to be replaced. I would actually think I would also have a serious word with Kagiso Rabada right now. Rabada is a great red ball bowler, a reasonable T20 bowler, but in ODIs, I mean, just look at these figures. He went for 70. That's unpardonable. It's a flat deck, sure, but look at how well Matt Henry bowled. Compare Matt Henry with Kagiso.
Yeah, he hasn't. So for a long time, even Pat Cummins had this problem. He just hadn't figured out white ball bowling. You know,
Cummins is bad on flat decks. It was seen in the World Cup as well. Ahmedabad pitch wasn't flat. That's why,
that's
and
right.
the
He,
Eden Gardens
he
pitch
could work
wasn't
with
flat.
something on the Ahmedabad pitch. He could alter length. He could alter pace. He
Yeah.
could alter a lot of. He could bowl cutters. He could do a lot of
Go.
things with that.
Yeah, if I pull up that Pakistan match or that New Zealand match where they got absolutely smashed everywhere, he has terrible figures in both of those games.
In fact, in that New Zealand game, he nearly lost them the game. He went that
Exactly.
badly.
Exactly. He's absolute
Nearly
rubbish.
lost them the game in a 390 chase. By the way. That's an absurd
Yeah,
match.
388. They won by 5 runs. They won by 5
The
runs.
390 chase, he nearly lost them the match. Yeah. So both these guys haven't figured out white ball bowling. I think not in the
No,
way
I
in which
don't
say
think
Bumrah.
you can. I don't think you can if the pitches are this flat. In fact, the
No, I'm
only
sorry.
bowler.
I'm telling you, Bumrah and Shami will bowl this way better.
Agreed, because Bumrah bowled way better on a 350 deck, right? Couple
No,
of
it's not
decks were
just the
350
fact
on.
that he's done it in the past. It's just he brings more in terms of the angles he delivers at, in terms of attacking the stumps more, keeping that
Yeah.
length back, then pulling the length up, and he bowls a very effective Yorker.
So
Rabada
whenever
has traditionally had a good Yorker, but we've not seen enough of it. And that problem, by the way, shows up. I don't watch much of IPL, but I've seen even in his IPL, the problem comes up is too many
agreed.
full tosses off what should be Yorkers.
And some people make fun of India for having smaller grounds, but to be fair, most Indian grounds and South African grounds, Pakistani grounds, and to an extent I'll say Bangladeshi grounds are all the same size. 65-meter, 70-meter fences, not much. The only
No,
big grounds are
I think one or two
Australia.
of the South African grounds are like that. Otherwise, they've got larger grounds. But
Wanderers
no,
is a Wanderers is
no,
a
but
kids
Indian
playground.
Indian grounds take it to another level, brother. I'm sorry. There are when you play in back the side of the pitch from which one of the leg side
Yeah,
boundaries is
I've
like
seen it.
under 50 meters. It's a joke. It's just an
Wankhede is
absurd.
the same. Wankhede is the
That's
same.
right.
Wankhede
That's
is
exactly right. And those two
Wankhede
grounds,
is
therefore, there is nothing which is a safe total. You just don't know what will happen on those grounds.
absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing is a safe total. I agree with that. But the other part I was trying to say is, if you remember in the same 2023 World Cup, India made 350 against Sri Lanka, bowled them out for 50. Now, bowling of them out for 50 was like a one-off occurrence. I agree with that. But the point is, Bumrah bowled way better.
Oh
Shami
yeah, yeah.
bowled way better.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. There's no
Come
comparison, man.
honestly, what this tournament has shown me is give the Indians a flat deck, they're going to make 500 against an Aussie bowling attack. I'm not kidding. Because if the English batters can make 350, our batters can make 500.
Or they'll make a
They're
winning total. They'll make a winning total for sure.
yeah, yeah, agreed. And let's go to the other game.
Just that.
Yeah. Okay. And this innings perfectly illustrates my second point, and that I'll come to in the presentation later. If I were to rate Smith as a test batter, he's a 10 out of 10. I'm not kidding about that. But if I'm rating him as an ODI batter, he would be 5 out of 10.
No,
He's
five
been
is a
very.
little harsh. Five's a little harsh.
No,
Five's a little
I
harsh.
will be harsh. I am harsh. I am very harsh with Smith, the ODI batter, because of a simple reason.
Okay,
ODIs have been
I
easier to
have
play.
two caveats to add to that. All right.
Yeah.
They won the White Ball World Cup in 15. Okay.
15 I'll give you. That's his only good
One
tournament.
second.
Yeah.
And he was massive in the quarters,
Yes.
massive in the semis.
And the final. And the final.
Final though, final ended in 5 minutes, brother. They finished off Makalam and then there was no total left,
But he
right?
made a 50 in
Batsmen
the
were still
final. He
nothing.
made a 50 in the final.
Right? And I've seen him captain white ball like a king. Like when they beat us at home in an ODI series, his captaincy was just
Yes,
superb.
2023. Yeah, I remember.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
My point is this: in most of Smith's career, ODI career, they haven't really given a crap about white ball cricket.
Which is
They went
sad.
into the well, whatever it may be, they went into the 19 World Cup knowing that they don't have enough. They will perhaps
Agreed.
be having won again now the 23 World Cup, the white ball World Cup. They will
Hmm.
probably come back in 27 as a decent team, but they will still have problems in 27 because Smith is definitely, I don't think he's definitely gone, right? He's retired,
He is retired. He's retired. He
right? So
announced it.
he's gone, so they need a replacement there, and that person, whoever they replace with, will need to be someone who can make runs in volume, not just quickly.
Hmm.
They will probably may or may not have Hazelwood
Hazelwood
because
is
he's
done. Hazelwood is done,
yeah,
in my opinion. Hazelwood is
that's
done.
right.
I don't see him
So we
even
need a
continuing much
replacement
in
there,
T20s.
but it'll be sort of the last World Cup for Stark, Cummins, and Zampa, who are good,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
And it's a
true.
South African World Cup, so they'll be effective, more effective. Although South African pitches you can really fly at times, but if there's a little bit of
Yeah,
rain around, then South African pitches will still give you more.
yeah.
Right? Whatever it is, I think they also recognize they have a slight problem in terms of just the volume of runs. Because if you just go through this, like Connolly didn't look like he was ready to bat at this level.
Forget looking to bat at this level. The guy didn't look ready to bat in an IPL game. He was missing obvious half volleys outside off stump. Like, for example, I'll give you a simple nothing.
But
Consider his
to be
partner
fair,
Head.
even Manus is not their first choice 11.
Yeah,
And then when
I'll give you a
inducted,
truthism here. I'll give you a truthism.
yeah,
Australia won the 2023 World Cup with 9 players playing and 2 people just warming the bench, but in the squad. I'm not even kidding. Smith did nothing in the 2023 World Cup. He did absolutely nothing. Seriously, he did nothing. Duck in the final, 3 or 4 in the semi-final. Uh, all important matches, he was absolutely rubbish. He didn't look like it at all. He was absolutely
who are you
awful.
talking about?
Smith in the
Who are you referring to?
2023 World Cup.
Yeah,
2023
yeah,
World Cup.
yeah,
Smith
yeah,
was
yeah.
terrible in the 2023 World Cup. He made a total of
Yeah.
200 runs across 11 innings or 12 innings.
I
That's
don't think
not.
Manus was all that great either.
Manas was even worse. He redeemed himself
Yeah,
in the final, but he was
yeah,
terrible. Absolutely awful.
yeah.
Point is, Manas and Smith are ODI passengers in this era. They're not
No, no,
ODI
no, no.
batsmen.
But Smith can still create runs, and he was decent in this
To
tournament.
an
I just want
extent.
to just going through this lineup. Right, in my opinion, looking at this, their first team would have a Travis Head. It would have a Steve Smith at this date, on this date, in this juncture, right?
No, you
It
can
would have
remove
an
Smith.
Alex
You can
Carey.
remove Smith. You can remove
It,
Smith because
it
he's
would have no,
retired.
no. But
So,
at that time for this match,
yeah.
it would have an Alex Carey. But the rest of this was a C team. It's not even a B team. So they just didn't. I don't think this was a tournament for them. But even then, this particular
Mm.
innings, to me, it's a typical Aussie grit, right? They were not more than 10 runs or a wicket behind in their entire setup.
Yeah.
That Travis Head error was a bad error. First ball he gets from Varun Chakravarti, he tries to go for him, and he gets holed out, right? It's a
Yeah.
slightly bad error in my view. And why I don't like having Glenn Maxwell in teams was proved in exactly this match. That shot is simply not on. He can
But
hit that against lesser spinners. He cannot do it to these guys. These are decent bowlers,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Agreed.
So you're trying to hit Aksar, who's a darter, like a typical T20 left arm darter,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? To an arm ball coming into you at pace and perhaps will stay low on a difficult pitch. But look at it this way, man. If you don't get the Alex Carey direct hit run out,
Mm.
much like the Soumya Sarkar run out in the World Cup, in the T20
Yeah.
World
Yeah.
Cup
Yeah.
in Melbourne.
2022 World Cup.
Yeah, if you don't get that direct hit, you might have another 20 to chase. And another 20 to chase, I still think we win, but it gets a little bit trickier. All I'm saying is on the balance of the two teams on paper and on
Paper.
the ground,
Yeah.
there's just too
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
of a gap between this Indian team and that Australian team. Like I would not have
Agreed.
tolerated a loss to this Australian team. It's not a good enough
Yeah.
Australian team
Yeah. Yeah.
for these conditions.
But what I would sum up my feelings on Head on this with this honestly. Head is let me actually bring Ben Duckett into this conversation because I think there's an interesting parallel which I've noticed. Head and Ben Duckett are exactly the same type of batter in that they lack of defense. They absolutely do. They have zero defensive ability. Head is better at getting out of trouble though. Duckett isn't. Head doesn't sweep or reverse sweep. He uses a lot of his shots on the offside. Duckett is a far better square player on the leg side, but they're essentially the same batsman.
Yeah,
Simple as
except
that.
there's one difference I'll add to that. Head uses his batting crease a lot. That open stance that he comes up with, he goes
Ah,
much deeper
yes,
in the
open
crease.
stance. Yes, yes, yes.
Right. So then, I mean, it's a ridiculous. It's a gully cricket shot here. He's flat. He's flat facing the bowler, open
Yeah,
chested facing the bowler, and he's
yeah,
swatting it over mid wicket. He's got a killer shot there. I do agree with it. You can't have a batting lineup where Travis Head is a core component. Travis Head has to be one of your lottery batsmen, slightly lottery, but a little above lottery, I would say. But he's one of your
yeah,
killers, right? Like he's the kind of guy who, if he comes off, the match is done. But if he
yeah,
doesn't come off, you've got to have enough volume there. And this squad
yeah,
wasn't set up for that. So
yeah, yeah. Now let's come to our bowling effort. Okay, I think one shot in particular summarized Australia more than anything else. The Steve Smith getting clean bowled to a full toss. I mean, when he played that, the shot wasn't what I questioned at all, actually. I was just surprised that, you know, at that moment, in a way, one of my thoughts, which had been crystallizing for many years, I've been thinking about this for many years regarding Steve Smith, the ODI batter. I realized that he just does not have it in ODIs. Meaning, not, unfortunately, he has been in an era of two white ball greats. I'm not kidding when I say two white ball. Okay, actually, I would say three white ball greats. AB de Villiers, Kohli, and Rohit Sharma. These three had bulk and average and strike rate. Point is, when I looked at Smith, the issue was very clear to me.
But
Actually, I'll bring
he
up
won a World Cup, and the other three you're talking about didn't win a World Cup.
2011. Kohli is still there.
Brother,
Kohli gets.
Kohli is the little pup that we're carrying through that batting lineup. All right, so let's
Fair
not
enough.
pretend.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But he has a cup. He
Sharma
has a cup.
didn't. Sharma didn't. AB de Villiers didn't,
Sharma hasn't. Sharma hasn't.
and
Sharma
not as de
hasn't, and
Villiers.
Sharma won't. Sharma won't. I know that for a fact. Sharma won't.
27 won't
The
happen
sad
for
part
him.
is,
You're saying he's not going to 27.
no, I don't want him to go to 27 because I
Nor
want
do I.
Jaiswal.
I don't want him to see out 25, man. I don't want him to see out even 25.
Look, for me, Kohli can stay as an ODI format only player until 27. Don't have an issue with that at all. The man is beyond consistent in this format.
Listen,
That
there's a little.
that actually brings me to this second portion, which actually I wanted to
No. I just wanted
share.
to say you were talking about the Indian bowling effort, right?
Just a
More
moment. Just a
Shami.
moment. No, no, just a moment. Just a moment. Let's just finish the Smith topic and then we'll go to the Indian bowling effort. Yeah. This is where I find Smith extremely underwhelming. Extremely so. Just look at the matches batting first versus batting second record. That should tell you everything. He hit 8 of his 100s batting first and 4 of his 100s batting second.
Yeah, but
He
that's his
clearly
record in Test cricket as well, boss. He doesn't. He has very few second innings runs. He
he
wins
has
you Test
no
matches.
second innings runs whatsoever. He just
Yeah,
cannot
so
handle
that's the
pressure.
nature of him. That's the big asterisk with Steve Smith. It is the big asterisk with Steve Smith. It's just the nature of his
See, if
cricket.
I was considering the Fab Four, right? Fab Four as an overall package, Kohli would still be my number one. Because even though he's declined massively in these last 4 years in
No,
tests,
I think there's too much decline. I think there's too much decline in Test cricket. 5 years
who do
is
you
too
put
long.
number one? Okay, who do you put number one? Overall, all three formats together, Fab Four. All three. That's why it's a tough question. Williamson is very average in T20s. He's okay in ODIs. Root is good in ODIs, terrible in T20s because he basically,
Listen,
in the
I
end,
think.
abandoned.
Oh man,
And
that's a tough one.
exactly my
If
point.
Virat didn't have this problem that
He's
he's had
number
over
one
five
without
years,
question.
yeah, yeah, it's just, but it's too big. You can't have a third of your career like this, yeah.
Agreed, but my problem is Steve Smith's entire ODI career has been this
Arre
mediocrity.
Baba,
Yeah,
so he's
agreed,
a
agreed.
two-time World Cup winner. The rest I'll leave to you. And he's got 12 centuries or so, and he's played very little ODI cricket. If you look at it, it's very, very little ODI cricket.
Very little,
We're talking about
very little.
170 games, dude. 170 games is nothing in ODI
Yeah,
cricket now.
because Kohli has played double that.
Those
Kohli's
strike
played
rates
double
aren't
that.
bad. Those averages aren't bad. It's a reasonable number.
Strike
It's not.
rates are bad. Strike rates are bad. That's
No,
88
88
in
and
this era.
85 are not bad, boss. I'm
Kohli is
sorry,
94.
88 and 85 is not bad.
Kohli is 94. That's my
No,
problem.
he's not.
Yeah, he is. Kohli is at 94. I'm not kidding. I'll show you. I'm not kidding. 94 for his career. I'm not kidding. Shocked me too, but that's what he is. Look, that's 94
Really?
for his career. Yeah, that's why he is this great. 94 for his career.
Oh, that's a big difference. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. No. So I'm not persistently. Look, obviously there is no comparison between Smith and Kohli as ODI cricketers, right?
Yeah.
But maybe what this ends up saying is that all four sort of fall very similarly because, right, and plays great innings in all formats from time to time. Virat plays more great innings in ODIs than in other
Mm,
formats. Virat as a
yeah.
T20 batsman, other than a bright phase, there's been a lot of negative commentary. 2016 semi-final, too many singles, too many doubles, not enough sixes. West Indies come
Yeah.
out to bat, they start smashing sixes and they knock your total off, right? And that
Yeah.
was in Mumbai. So there's been
Yeah.
that criticism persistently about Virat. So okay, so you devalue a little on the T20 side for him.
Yeah.
Smith and Root and
Williamson.
Williamson took way too big a lead on him on Test side. Yeah. Like it's just too big. It's too big.
I
I mean,
agree
we're
with the
we're
test
talking
side
about a
issue, but
12-run Test match average lead for Smith, and
for
about
Smith, yeah.
nine for Williamson.
And 4 or 5 for Joe Root, yeah.
Yeah, right. These are big gaps in the most
But
difficult
if we
format.
look at, yeah, but my issue is if we are taking that test
So
average and
then
even
I think the
giving it
correct
up,
answer to this is you don't do the all format analysis. It's not yielding anything. Perhaps
Yeah, because
you
you're
still say,
eventually
okay,
going to get four equal answers at the end of the day.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, no. So
should be.
perhaps you say that Kohli is a little bit ahead as an all format thing, but it's a very underwhelming kind of all format victory because you're also the weakest in the most important format. You know, how do you, it
Fair
sort
enough.
of,
Fair enough. You could
it
argue that.
conceals more than it reveals, that statistic then.
Maybe, maybe. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But
Can we go
it's a
back to that
debatable
bowling
point.
card for a moment, please? Because I would
Yeah,
love to give Mo Shami his flowers.
yeah. There you go.
The heck
Brilliant
of
figures, in
a
my
That's a heck
opinion.
of a spell, the heck of a second spell, man. Change the game.
Especially when you consider what Hardik Pandya was bowling.
Yeah. Listen, this guy, you can count on him in an ICC tournament of the white ball like no one
Oh yeah.
else.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
You can.
And
Yeah.
imagine this first game or second game. Remember that first spell statistic that he was running into bowl at 18 kilometers per hour, whereas his peak speed for running into bowl is 31 kilometers per hour?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, big game arrives against Australia, knockout game, and he's ready for it. And
Yeah. Yeah.
here's a
He's
little
done.
bit of a story. Mohammad Shami is the guy we chose to drop for the World Cup semi-final in 19. In a match,
2019. Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
match in which you didn't have to select your team on the day on which it was actually appointed because it rained.
Yeah. And you picked an extra spinner on an English pitch when it rained. Truly incredible thinking, isn't it?
And you dropped your one mystery spinner.
Who was our mystery spinner at that time?
Kuldeep Yadav was
Kuldeep
bowling
isn't
beautifully
mystery
through
anymore. Okay. Yeah. My memory is starting to.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
he was
enough.
still bowling. Like it's a left arm leg spinner, man. This is gold dust.
Yeah, yeah, agreed, 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 agreed. Who did they even pick in the 2019 semi-final? Let me just
Arey
check.
Baba, that's the first time Jaddu came into the match, into the tournament.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Now I'm remembering. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What a terrible team selection, to say the least. Mm.
Hey, see, when India loses in these, like obviously the best team in ODI cricket for at least a decade, right? After the 15 World Cup.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Other teams have competed in phases. England has competed in phases, right? But
yeah,
we are the
yeah,
ones who don't come out with the end product.
yeah.
Whatever
In
you
fact,
say,
we'll when we later do a podcast for the T20 World Cup, which will be coming next year at this time, believe me, we'll be going into a lot of these points.
yeah, so when you have lost games in the 19 semi-final, you shot yourself on the foot.
Shot yourself in the head would be better.
There you go, right? No. I wanted to preserve shot yourself in the head for the 23 final. That's where you shot yourself in the head. Because that's at home.
Don't
And then
remind me
Travis
of
Head
that
comes and
final.
kills you in your home conditions. Where you've
Yeah, I
had this
mean,
perfect format. You've had these flat pitches on which you're killing teams, both with
yeah,
bat and ball. And then
yeah,
suddenly one night you think of Australia and you decide, fuck it, can't do it. Why? Because you killed them
yeah.
on a similar pitch in Chennai. Except they batted
You,
first.
yeah, and
The moment they won
Cummins
the toss,
obvious.
they're like, I'm bowling first. All of India's like, who bowls first? They're like, these are the Aussies. They know what they're doing. It will be much quicker under the lights with the dew, blah, blah. They just make you look like idiots in your own conditions.
Yeah,
Shot
true.
yourself in the foot,
But yeah,
right? But
and
I'll
the
tell you
thing,
why that 99 semi-final is more. The some of the balls that took wickets in that second half and that
the
first
Gibbs
half
ball,
also.
the Gibbs
Oh
ball,
my.
the Gibbs ball.
Oh my. That Gibbs ball is crazy. But even Donald and Pollock in the first innings, incredible.
No, for me, the Gibbs ball is an excellent example of why ODI cricket of the 90s is going to stay there and ODI cricket of today is going to be very different because that ball, according to me, is better than the Mike Gatting ball, is better than the Andrew Strauss ball. Is bowled in Test cricket for one simple reason. He did it with a white ball on a day one ODI track. He got it to turn from fifth stump outside leg to hit the off bail. My point is, Mike Gatting, he got it with a red ball. The red ball does a lot more than a white ball ever can.
There's a
That's a
difference,
better
though.
ball.
I'll only say this: the difference then is that in a test match, you don't have the urgency to play a shot, and he beats um, one of the best English batsmen against spin ever on a defensive technique.
Agreed, but my point is the ball still spun that much
Oh no,
because it
no.
was a red
Listen,
ball.
I'm with you on like the trajectory of the delivery is very similar. It's that inward dip with that collapse of
Yeah,
the ball suddenly, and then the ripping spin.
yeah,
Warney was a god, dude. Forget Warney. Warney was something special. Hey, to that end, you're talking about that era of cricket and a little before. It was Viv Richards' birthday the other day. The favorite thing
yeah.
I saw today morning was a compilation by one of Shreyas Iyer's fans of
Ah,
Viv missing four bouncers, okay, and Iyer standing aside and cutting bouncers for four or something, and
these
talking
guys
about we
bad.
know the truth.
They want
We
to
know
make
the
us look
truth is
bad.
what the caption is. I couldn't stop laughing, dude. Shreyas Iyer apparently owns Viv Richards now.
This is why
Bro,
sometimes I'm a fish
I'm
out
telling
of
you, I'm
water.
telling you, bro. Forget about Tendulkar, forget about Lara, forget about AB, forget about Kohli. You want pure aura, right? Pure vibes and
Yeah,
aura.
it's Viv.
There
It's
is
Viv. I'm not
nothing
kidding. I'm
that
not even
comes.
going to. Yeah,
The way he used to walk out a bat, dude. No helmet, those skin tight t-shirts with that
yeah,
huge muscle. Like it's not the refined muscle you get today. That
yeah,
big muscle, right?
yeah,
Swinging the
yeah.
bat, swaying as he's
Also,
walking like the West
also,
Indian
what I
style
love,
swing.
zero tattoos, zero tattoos.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
no
so clean.
drama, nothing. And he pulverized you, pulverized. Like
Yeah,
listen, he was batting at a level of he was batting 2025 cricket in
yeah.
89, in 80s.
Which is why whenever anyone ranks him in the top five ODI batters, I would say you're wrong. He's in the top four. I would say even top three ODI batters.
No, no, listen, Viv is in every format of the game, he's right up there. Imagine T20 cricket around when Viv is starting.
He'd be, yeah, especially in Indian grounds. Yeah, I would see a point even more so. Yeah, I think he got
Deflated
stuck.
because of the Packer
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
Sorry. Saying, do you know how much of his test record gets deflated because of the Packer years?
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah. It
played some
does.
of the most difficult bowling in the most difficult conditions during in the Kerry Packer World Series. Okay.
Yeah,
And they used to be, you have to understand the mental, this is a very racist Australian decade. This is the 70s, okay? And the
yeah,
West
yeah,
Indies used to be given deliberately, they used to be given baby pink uniforms. Baby pink
yeah, yeah,
uniforms, flamingo pink uniforms to
yeah,
play
yeah.
in.
I've seen
Okay.
them. I've seen them.
And
Yeah,
he
the
used to
videos are
play,
still
and
on YouTube.
he was by miles, him and Imran by miles were the best two cricketers of that uh,
Yeah.
setup.
But I can never acknowledge Imran's comments post his cricketing career, especially that nonsense where he started saying, every match against India was like jihad for Kashmir. I wanted to convert the Hindus. He said this openly on record, by the way. I can never
Yeah,
acknowledge that.
twat. I'm never going to dispute you, the twat.
Yeah, yeah. We should ramble, but we should also stay on track. So this is my point about also Steve Smith, the ODI player, underwhelming to say the least. Okay, this one we'll do this quickly within 2 or 3 minutes. I think they can tackle spin. Kohli in the last 2, 3 innings against spin has looked much better than what he was doing in the test format, at least. He's been stepping out, he's been going back, he's been using his cut shot, which I really, really like. He's been
Bro,
using a couple of.
I genuinely, this is the only fear. Uh, New Zealand were on the wrong end of the toss against us. Uh, if they
In the
win
group
the,
stage
and
game.
yeah,
But
but
point is, every other match has
I
been
will not accept that even the law of averages will not come to our favor. Sharma cannot lose another toss. I will not accept that is possible statistically. It can't be. You can't lose 15 here.
no, he has lost 15. This will be his 16th.
Oh my God. It just can't, like, you've got to
Something
turn
like
up
that.
with a toss here. Because if they bat first, then that's the scenario in which they can win. Otherwise, I don't see a scenario.
The problem
Although they are
is,
a very good team.
no, no. The problem is India batted first and won once on that pitch. India batted second and won 3 times on that pitch. So I don't see the point either way,
Yeah, but
actually.
nobody has the quality of spin that New Zealand has compared, na?
Fair enough, but the point is, it's not like New Zealand spin destroyed India in the first match where we got 249.
Yeah,
It was
but that's
actually their
because
pace attack.
we played them in the top of the order. We played them first up, na? We were bothered
Mm,
by their pace as well, but their spin
yeah,
kept
yeah.
our runs down. Santner's not going to be easy when it starts sticking, man.
Honestly, I feel that they are not going to have an easy time with our bowling, though. Varun is going to run through them. They have absolutely no answer to him.
That's what
None.
I agree. I think this is like Varun Chakravarti in the way in which he's come back over the last 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
Huge commendation to him. Huge commendation to him, man.
And this is
Look,
where
eventually he's going to get figured out, but that's not the phase right now. Right now, nobody's figuring him out, and he's going to be very effective.
even when he gets figured out, he has shown me he can come back once. I think he can definitely adapt.
Yeah. He's got to then, look, he's Somewhere it'll have to become slower bowling. You know what? He's going to have to use a spinner's tactile sense much more than, because he effectively bowls like a medium pacer right now, like a slow medium pacer right now.
Mohinder
You know,
Amarnath.
or Kumble. It's very
Yeah,
Kumble,
yeah, yeah,
except
yeah. I can see that.
you don't have Kumble's consistency. Range you may and had a ridiculous flipper. Kumble had a killer flipper. Kumble had
Yeah,
a
yeah,
killer
yeah,
flipper that made him very different.
yeah, 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 yeah. The thing is,
So yeah,
the
no,
thing.
I was just saying
Yeah,
that
yeah,
on a team to team comparison,
yeah,
again, we're a much stronger team.
yeah.
But New Zealand need one of their batsmen to go mad. Absolutely
But
mad.
not on this pitch. Not on this pitch. I don't see it
No,
happening
no,
on
they'll
this
need it.
pitch.
No, I may not see it, you may not see it, but it has to happen. There's no other way out of
But
this. They
yeah,
need
but
that top
you know,
order, that top
you
three.
know what
Someone
I
has to
was.
go crazy.
Yeah, but you know what I noticed in that first match. New Zealand's most potent weapon in the whitewash test series against us was the sweep shot. They swept a lot more than us and a lot more safely than us. Surprisingly, in a lesser difficult format, they were not able to do as much, and all of their sweeps either found fielders or they just missed them altogether. Latham got out LBW sweeping. Mitchell just gave a bunch of sweeps straight to fielders. He was unable to find any gaps, and Williamson just put away a sweep shot completely. Ravindra got out even before the spinners were introduced. That was a different matter altogether. Point is, they weren't able to use their sweeps as much, and they're not as good at using their feet. Mitchell is, but beyond Mitchell, I don't see much. And Williamson, my God, that stumping. He just danced down, was like a blind
Got
man
beaten in
walking.
the air,
And
got beaten by the pace. It was much slower.
yeah, agreed. But it was almost like a blind man. He missed it by like 5 or 6
Yeah,
inches.
but
That's not.
he'd been itching either for the late cut or the cover drive, the cover drive for over after over and didn't find the answer, right? Listen,
Yeah,
they can't win this without Rachin Ravindra contributing big. They need Rachin
yeah,
Ravindra to contribute big.
agreed, agreed.
And
But I don't.
they will need Glenn Phillips to go fuck ape shit in that end overs.
He wasn't picking
If
Varun.
they
He wasn't
No, no, I
picking
know
Varun.
he wasn't. I know he wasn't, but that's why they probably see the way he operates is he's unable to pick them when he comes into bat first, right? So, but the problem he has with India is he's not going to see any fast bowling when he comes into bat.
Exactly. And
And
if you bowl Varun at him straight up, he's probably going to get
yeah,
out after
but if
two or
it's
three
not
balls.
Varun, but at that time you're bowling one of the two other left arm spinners, he may have a chance.
Not Kuldeep. Not Kuldeep. He doesn't read a leg spinner either.
No, the problem with him is he plays off the back foot. Everything is played off the back foot.
That's the problem for him against Varun. He just
He has
doesn't
to
know
find
where.
an answer. I mean, I completely agree. The odds are totally stacked against him, but he has to somehow give, even if it's 40 runs, 30 runs, 35 runs. All right.
Yeah.
But it's a 10, 15, 20 ball inning. That's enough for them. This needn't be a 350 final. This
This is
can be a
not going to be a
280 final.
350 fine. This is not going to be a
280,
3.
280, 290 final is more than enough for them if
I
they
don't
bat
even
first.
think anybody is getting
If
280
we
on this
bat
pitch.
first, in my opinion, the match is over.
Possibly. Yeah. But the thing is, I'll tell you something.
No, I mean the
Australia.
only outside scenario being somehow you decide to go mad and just screw it all up and throw wickets, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
End up
yeah. I don't
end
see
up
that happening.
210, 220 kind of problem. Then it's a different problem.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see that happening. And it's a used pitch they're using for the final. The same pitch we played Pakistan 240, plays 240. That's the same pitch they're using. So I don't see this be. I actually consider even if we get 270 on in the first innings, it will be a very tough score to
No,
chase.
listen. I mean, even that Pakistan game, they only had Abrar. If they had one or two more decent spinners, right? They like Pakistan team selection is another level, bro.
No, we'll get to Pakistan. We have an entire section
Another
for them.
level.
We have an entire
Anyway, shall
section.
we move on with? I think this is really this is a final stacked in our favor, particularly if we win the toss. If they win the toss, really, they still need one batsman to put them above 260, 270. It's a lot
But I
on
have
that
a
pitch.
funny feeling they might decide to chase upon winning the toss. And I'm not kidding you because of a simple fact. India won 3 matches while chasing, and they don't want India to chase once again. Yeah, according to me, I don't think it makes much of a difference for India to field first or bowl first. Sorry, field first or bat first.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're fine.
No, I'm saying it doesn't make much of a difference to India.
Yeah, yeah. So Kohli and Rohit's futures, and for me, Kohli deserves to make it to 2027 World Cup as an ODI only batter.
Look, I'm not going
Tests,
to comment on that in 25, okay? But yeah, Virat, enough runs in ODI cricket right now, enough fitness, no question about dropping. There's no urge to drop him. There's no question about that. On the basis of his Champions Trophy, he's not even in the same debate. Rohit, I think, has to go. So I don't know where his white ball credibility now comes from, other than deep
yeah,
fast.
agreed. He
And I
has lost a lot of
genuinely
white
believe
ball
Test
credibility.
cricket is. So I think that's where Rohit gets. Now you can't keep Yashasvi out. Yeah,
Yeah. That's my point. That's my
you can't
point.
keep Jaiswal out there. You just cannot keep
Yeah,
Jaiswal
you
out.
can't.
Whether Kohli wants to continue, very interesting. I saw this comment on um, in a tweet,
Yeah,
but in a post on X, but I didn't actually listen to the commentary itself. But apparently, Ashwin says his knowledge is that that Virat plans to quit and that Rohit
yeah.
plans to go to 27.
Would not be surprised if that happens actually.
No, Rohit is not getting to 27, boss. There's not enough runs there. There's not enough
I agree, but
performance
the
there.
mindset is not what I'm trying to say. I actually understand. Kohli kind of knows when he should quit. He was the first one who announced that after the T20 World Cup, win or lose, I was going to quit. He said that later on.
Yeah, but
Win or
he
lose,
has no reason to quit ODIs, boss. He has no reason to quit ODIs. He's as
I
good as
agree,
anybody in
but
ODIs.
maybe he feels that he wants to spend time with his family, and he's always been a family first
Listen,
guy,
the batting
especially.
lineup is designed for Kohli's cricket at ODI in ODIs, okay? Because the Sharma risk taking, the Gill risk taking early on, and the Pandya effect, it allows him to play his percentage cricket, and he gives you volume, man. It's a very important part of ODI cricket. It's designed
Agreed.
for him. So I don't see any reason why he needs to go at all. At all. Rohit, I think, is the debate is over as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned.
Rohit is over. Rohit
All
is done. I'm
formats,
not
the
even.
debate is over.
Yeah. It's over. It's over. Yeah. We
Haha.
come to every. Look, I
Listen,
don't blame
multiple
Miller.
sets of things can be true together. Multiple sets of things can be true together. We have
True,
had an
true.
advantage. Let's not fucking
Yeah.
pretend we have not. We have had an advantage. All
Agreed,
right.
agreed. I
It's
don't
the
dispute that.
travel time is an advantage. The same conditions is an advantage. As much as Rohit has tried to say each pitch has been a little bit different. Screw you, buddy. It's similar.
It's
It's within the
basically the
similar
same. It's
range. It's
basically the same. Yeah.
yeah. So let's not pretend. Your entire travel has been much easier, especially around the semi-final. That travel gap has been a bad gap. It's not
Yeah.
it's not overtly onerous, but we've had an advantage. But that doesn't change the fundamental fact of then don't give Pakistan tournaments because we will not play there, right?
I am
So
going to
that's
tell
the only
you,
solution.
I'm going to tell you one thing.
We have
This was
zero obligation to play Pakistan in Pakistan, and we will not play Pakistan in Pakistan. And if
I
that
completely
reality
agree.
creates a benefit for us, then tough luck.
Yeah.
Pakistan should not host. End of story.
Simple matter. I after 26/11, I don't want to hear Pakistan playing in India or India playing in Pakistan
That's
again.
right.
Simple as that.
Bus. कुछ chance ही नहीं है. So if it creates a benefit, what do you want us to do here? Then what is it? So all this Western magic, fine. You've got a point. Okay, I'll accept your point. Shami accepted the point. Shami accepted it,
Yeah.
by the way. That
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have had a benefit, right? Okay,
Yeah.
I accept that. What's your solution? You want us to go play in
There is none.
Pakistan? That's not a solution. So what's the solution? Now
There is
everybody
none.
comes up with his wise ass answer that the India thing could have been all in UAE, and so you could have had multiple venues there.
Yeah.
Then the problem effectively you end up creating a co-hosted tournament. Didn't want,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You would have taken more matches out of Pakistan. So this was the only solution. Tough luck to everyone.
Look, I'm pretty sure as far as the men's team is concerned, men's teams are concerned, women's team has one tournament in Pakistan. Good luck to them hosting it in Pakistan. And women's tournament, that's even more unsafe than a men's tournament. Just straight up, I'm being very blatant with this. Point being, for obvious reasons. Point is, as far as the men's tournament is concerned, they don't have any other tournaments lined up until 2031, and I don't see any future ICC board granting them even one, because this tournament has been pretty badly hosted regardless of whether it was hosted in UAE or not. It's not been hosted well. They have done the same price gouging nonsense that BCCI did in India when India hosted the World Cup, but there's one crucial difference. Indians have more money in their pockets to spend on these games. Pakistanis don't. So that is why many of the stadiums have been completely empty. or half empty at the very least. There were more people watching the South Africa New Zealand semi-final match than Pakistan's own game against Bangladesh. It was rained out, sure, but point is they didn't even have the interest to turn up. But the true fiasco was, well, this look at this Peter Della Penna comment. India rules cricket with an iron fist. At least the US does nation building for better or worse. This guy is a US cricket fan who writes on ESPN Cricket Info.
Obviously, lack of knowledge, yeah. Madness. It does not even have historical knowledge. Listen, I'm sorry, I'm going to
Yeah,
plug one of my other podcasts. I've done a podcast with Hindol Sen Gupta on
yeah,
what
I know
all
that one.
BCCI did from the early 80s. Today,
Yeah,
everybody is talking about, oh, how NKP Salve didn't get 2 tickets. We were talking about this a year earlier.
yeah.
In the context of what and how BCCI did it was actually to create more votes within the ICC by bringing in associates, which these bastards were
Exact.
preventing, right?
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
BCCI has created. Boss, Nepal has a decent cricket team today
Yeah, I
in
wouldn't be
T20 cricket.
surprised if they beat Pakistan.
Yeah, there you go, right? USA did it, right? Was England, while it was leading cricket, going to do this? No, it wasn't. So they can all.
Forget
This is
England
some
doing
white
this.
boy. This is
Forget
some white
England
boy
doing this. You
unity
know,
happening. This is all a factual bullshit, and I'm not even going to give it any credibility.
that's point number one. Point number two, they only started protesting against racism for black cricketers when they themselves had a black cricketer and not when the West Indies joined. They didn't start protesting against South Africa's apartheid in 1932 when West Indies
They
started
sent
playing.
rebel tours. They sent rebel
Yeah,
tours to South Africa
yeah, yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
unity
yeah.
with the white cricketers who are being deprived of a great career.
I kind of agree with the fact that they were deprived of a great career, but come on, your country was doing way worse. So
There you go. Yeah.
you've
What are you
got
going
to,
to do?
yeah.
Bro,
And
this was
then,
apartheid. Apartheid is 20 years after what Hitler had done. I mean, just read the room. You can't do this.
yeah, simple. And they were not protesting this even until the 60s. Yeah,
Look, English hypocrisy is another level. English
yeah,
incompetence is even beyond that.
yeah,
For the first 15 years of ODI cricket, right, when teams
yeah.
haven't figured out
They were-
their ODI stripes as they were, England has some relevance in the World Cup, right?
Yeah,
75,
they won.
79
They went to three
semi-final.
finals. So they went
Yeah,
to three
79
finals
final,
out of,
one-sided final in 79, 83
yeah,
semi-final lost to us.
yeah.
Okay, lost a good final in 87,
Seven and
not in
lost
the
a good
game in the
final in
91 final.
'92. Lost a good
Not in
final
the
in
game
'92.
really after a point. They were not in the game
No,
after a
but it
point.
was a good final. It was a good final.
Yeah, two great deliveries killed them. Two great
Yeah,
back-to-back deliveries killed them.
yeah, agreed.
Right. After that, till that 2015 to 2020 phase,
Yeah,
they've been
nothing.
absolutely they've been irrelevant. Irrelevant is the word. Except
Yeah,
they popped up in the West Indies and knocked one World Cup out when again T20
T20
was a
World Cup.
little too nascent at that time. England and white ball cricket and particularly ODI cricket is just they're not relevant to me. I don't listen to them much. I don't understand what they think they're doing. They have taken a batting lineup of Harry Brook, etc., and made it look.
I have to just laugh when you say Harry Brook. That man has
What the hell can you
problems with
say?
smog. That man has problems with everything but his batting technique. And this is a reality show that cannot be understood by. I mean, this is openly being said. Gillespie isn't even trying to hide it. He's openly saying Akib Javed has conspired against him. This was basically Game of Thrones stuff happening in the background. And Behram Kazi is
Yeah,
another,
bro,
another
this
level of
is child's play. This is child's play in Pakistan cricket for a 90s and 2000s fan. Okay, this
agreed.
shit cloak and dagger is the definition of Pakistan cricket.
Agreed.
They've been doing this forever. Right. The
Yeah,
thing that
agreed.
I find most amusing about them, and the most amusing thing, I have never looked at a Pakistan 11 and thought, I don't know one fucker here. One. Okay. Maybe two. I'm being okay, overstating that. I know two cricketers that I think are decent and nothing more, which is Babar Azam is decent batsman, nothing more than that, and
I would say you're stretching
Naseem
the
Shah.
point even there, but point, yeah.
No, no, he's a decent batsman. Yeah, let's not overdo it. But he's nothing more than that. There's no greatness. There's no nothing. There's none of that crap, right? And
Yeah,
Naseem Shah, decent talent, but not decent executioners yet. But decent talent,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Beyond that, I don't know the front or the back of any of them.
yeah.
These guys talk about Salman Ali Aga or something. अरे है क्या भैया? मुझे नहीं पता. I don't know.
No, you
Khushdil
know what
Shah
was the
made a
crazy
60 or
part?
40 odd ball. What the fuck is a Khushdil Shah?
You know what? You know what? They were comparing Salman Ali Aga to Hardik Pandya. I couldn't believe it myself, but I mean, uh,
No, no,
absurdism
I
at its
think
very
that is
best.
I
But
think that is really the pressure of advertising money, that you can't be too honest and too negative. That's the problem. I'll be dead honest with you. There is a pure
yeah,
and simple cognition amongst their smarter people, and don't be fooled by this. There are a lot of very intelligent cricket thinkers in Pakistan, always have been. They
yeah,
played their cricket
yeah,
differently from everybody all the time. They are very smart thinkers about the game. They know
yeah,
they know the talent deficit they're in. They know how much of a gap there is. And they say it. Why India, they say it. Like, you're nowhere compared to India. Forget about it. Okay, they keep talking about the system, but they also know there's a talent deficit.
yeah. That's true. But this brings me to a far more disturbing point, especially thanks to ESPN Cricinfo, the website I absolutely despise as far as the writers are concerned. I'll tell you why. But more importantly, ESPN Cricinfo and one of its writers, and that is Mr. Andrew Fidel Fernando. I'm going to name names here straight up. That guy openly on his Twitter, if you open it up and see, you can literally see it. He said, I haven't forgotten the attack in 2009 where a Sri Lankan cricket bus was attacked full of cricketers and they were nearly killed by the Al Qaeda in Pakistan. But he says his nationalism is not limited to his sports team and it's okay for his team to go and play even with security issues. That was basically the implication of his statement. And this man is writing pans praising Pakistan's civilian culture. Truly incredible in ESPN Cricket Info, saying that these are very kind people. Look, there's a limit to nonsense. I don't see the point. Like this man's
In
cricket team
fact,
was
in
nearly
fact, this is
assassinated.
this is this is this is the exact statement that makes me realize you're still too young. As you age and you come to my age, you'll realize the one thing to which there is no limit on this planet is nonsense. Nonsense is unlimited. You will keep hearing it all your life. It will keep
No,
pushing the
I am
limits even
surprised
more
these
and more.
jokers still have credibility. I am surprised these jokers still have
No, he's
credibility.
a
Not
he's a
that
very
these,
good writer otherwise. He's a very good writer otherwise.
yeah, only when he does domestic Sri Lankan issues, not when he covers any other country.
No, no, listen, this particular comment is madness. It's the comment of a cuck. It's the comment of a guy who doesn't have to stand in front of the gun being pointed to him. Okay? That's what it is.
Yeah.
New
Has he
Zealand has
forgotten
suffered,
that a
right?
Sri Lankan he has forgotten that a Sri Lankan shopkeeper was burnt alive on blasphemy charges in Pakistan just 2 years ago. He's completely
Yeah.
forgotten about that apparently.
No, no, it's not that he's forgotten about it. He ignores it. He told you why he ignores it. He thinks the health of
Yeah,
cricket is more important.
yeah.
Why is India being why do we compel ourselves to play them, and even in neutral venues and in tournaments? Because you have to keep cricket alive
For me, they shouldn't be.
enough
They
to
should be
keep it.
banned. They should be racism.
That's right. So to keep them, you have to keep them around. You can't help it. There's just too few countries that play it. You have to keep them around. That's the only thing that
Yeah,
compels us to keep doing this. Otherwise, our use of power should be to completely nullify them.
yeah. This is their squad, and honestly, let me just say,
I have absolutely no
half of
interest
these.
in this. This is for you to take.
Yeah, yeah, clowns. That's
No,
my
I'm
one
telling you,
word.
like the point I was making. What the hell is a Jahandad Khan? What is an
No one knows.
Abbas Afridi? What I mean,
Forget that.
what are these
Forget that.
cricketers? Yeah?
Who is Omer Yusuf?
Who's an
Please
Omar
tell me
Yusuf?
who is exactly.
I don't know. Like these are, they may go make a name for themselves or whatever the hell later, but please, bro, this is rubbish.
This is a controversial segment, but for me, it has to be done. Yeah, I am an RCB fan, and my co-host Nikhil doesn't follow the IPL much, but of late, even I have fallen out of love mostly with the IPL. I respect T20 international cricket a lot more. These are my comments, straight up. I'm telling you. But this one, yeah, Dhoni the immortal. And honestly, I'll tell you, if Sachin Tendulkar's retirement was timed okay and Kapil's was dragged out, Dhoni is, oh my God. and he's a fellow Cancerian.
Fellow for
We
me as well. We're all Cancerians. Well done, boys.
That's my point. We is a fellow Cancerian. I was referring to both you and I. You're born on 26 June. I am born on 13 July. He splits the difference. He's 7 July.
Listen,
What
this
is
is
this?
all cha-ching. It's just cha-ching money. That's all it is. He's got a crazy IPL following. CSK still looks at him as someone that helps bring the marketing in. He makes money for them.
CSK
That's all
looks
it
at him
is.
like a god. Simple as that. CSK looks at him like
Ah,
a
so
god.
listen, this is Indian cricket. Myth making is a part of it. So myth making has to
Yeah.
happen. Uh, Also, I will tell you this. Think of it as a brand war. All right.
Yeah.
If you have Dhoni around, it helps you quell the aura of Kohli on a brand
And
war
Rohit.
during the IPL,
And Rohit. And Rohit to an
right?
extent.
On a brand war during the IPL. And
Yes,
it's
yes,
even
yes.
better because with from Dhoni, there is no expectation of any runs whatsoever. If he hits the odd
Absolutely
six,
nothing.
if he hits the odd six, that's extrapolated to being the greatest shot ever played. Or one simple take of a catch or something. Look at this is a great keeper at 43, 44. He's doing his crap. Right. And the other two, when they hit a low patch in the IPL, that brand gets crushed. It's very smart brand strategy by CSK, and that's all it is, in my opinion.
Agreed, but honestly, I'm getting sick of it. He should have retired after the 2023 IPL final. He won it in the
Bro,
biggest
you are
stadium.
calling it diminishing returns when that Chennai stadium fills up. No, it's going to be Thala, Thala, Dhoni, Dhoni, Dhoni. It's going to
Yeah,
keep
yeah, yeah.
happening.
That's true.
And
That's
every
why I'm
stadium
telling
he
you,
goes to, it will keep happening.
I'm telling you, he's not going to retire. He's not going to. Simple as that. It doesn't matter whether he wins the IPL this year or not. He's not going to retire. He's not going to retire until 65 or something. Simple as that. I'm not
uh,
kidding. That's basically what it's become. Look, if he had
no,
retired after the 20,
what you're saying is the kind of thing where if it becomes a common view, then the brand guys will take a view of that. And
yeah, but I'm not the common
once
view. I'm
once
not
he
the common
becomes
view.
diminishing returns in the brand war, then he'll have to be shunted out.
I'll give you an example of a common versus uncommon view. You were mentioning Richards. You mentioned a lot of older guys. You mentioned a lot of older World Cups. Most people my age, I'm 26 to 27 this year, won't know anything about them. But I read
Yeah, of
stuff.
course,
I see.
of course.
That's the point. I go well beyond. Most of my favorite films and bands are from way long ago. I love Rajkumar. You must have heard of Dr. Rajkumar, the actor. You might have. Point
Bro,
is, those are
my first month in law school in Bangalore, that's when he got kidnapped.
2001. Yes.
Oh not kidnapped. I think he had ill health. He was bad.
No,
He
kidnap,
was
kidnap. No, he
No,
was
no, that's
kidnapped by
I'm talking
Veerappan.
about 97. Yeah, I'm talking about 97. He had
Ah,
ill health.
97 would be different. Yeah, 97 would be different.
Okay, 90s. He had ill health. He was in a hospital for a month, and his fans
Yeah.
decided the best way to express their anguish is to go break up the city.
Yeah,
Used to
yeah.
be
I
different times,
remember that.
man. I had a friend who was whose father was in the police. So we also landed up and we also belted people and they belted us. It was a lot of fun. Nowadays, you can't do this
And
shit.
you also experienced Bangalore in a very different era.
It was lovely. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It would rain
Yeah.
without fail during the monsoon at 4 p.m. for that
Yeah, yeah.
lovely
I
sprinkled rain, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. I was
That
born
was
and brought
gone
up there.
by the time I was graduating in 2002.
Yeah, yeah.
It was gone by the time I was graduating in 2002.
Yeah,
It
I
became
know
a
because by the
cement
time
hellhole.
yeah, yeah. I remember because I was born and brought up there. So
How many
I should know.
lakes have I seen get covered up? Like it's there and then
Majestic
it's
was a
suddenly gone.
lake. Majestic was a lake. Majestic bus stand was a lake. Come on, give me a break. So yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. Football. uh, I'll let you have the floor for
yeah,
this.
yeah. No, I'm actually most positive about United right now. The manager may or may not be the man. I'm not going to go there. But
Yeah, agreed.
the fundamental problem at United was the internal structure. And if I just examine the internal structure for a moment, the main problem that created was the recruiting, and the recruiting has created the financial mess. These guys are
Yeah,
cleaning it
yeah,
up,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
First, second, their transfer strategy today leaves me with a Patrick Dorgu, 20 years old, cheap, about 25 million on cheap salary on the left wing as a decent option going in the future. Aiden Heaven, very cheap. as a left-footed centre back who's going to be the replacement for Lisandro Martinez, right? They brought in Joshua Zirkzee, and Zirkzee is starting to show why he was such a good young footballer in the Serie A last season. He's got
Yeah, but you
superb
need a
field cross. He's
finisher.
got actual
You need a
skills.
finisher. You need a finisher.
So I think Rasmus Højlund today is underperforming skills that I have seen him possess at
Yeah.
United in the league by such a
Mm.
wide margin that I don't understand what's going on. Okay, but I'm on something different.
Mm.
I'm saying every single player you brought in the summer was at a reasonable price and
Yeah.
has contributed and looks like a solid purchase. Solid to good. Okay, solid to good. So I would look at Manuel Ugarte and say that's a solid purchase. Perfectly fine
Yeah.
squad player, could give you 7 to 8 seasons. May not be a starter. I accept that. His ball movement is not good enough to be a starter, but he's a very useful player to have in a particular kind of midfield dynamic, right? If you get a
Yeah.
very good player alongside him who's a ball player, works. Like a young
Mm.
Christian Eriksen would have been great right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
26, 20, 25, 26-year-old
Yeah.
Christian
Yeah.
Eriksen would
Yeah.
have been great with an Ugarte.
Yeah. Yeah. He was a
But
brilliant. He was a brilliant Tottenham player in his
right,
younger days. Yeah.
Euro is pure gold. Lenny Euro is pure gold.
Mm.
Mazraoui has been superb. And Mazraoui fitness problems have ended, man. He's played so many matches, been so reliable. But I regard Matthias de Ligt to have been a very successful signing. I've seen enough good games. Yes, he's had bad games as well, but that's a structural flaw with United as well. But he's had enough
Yeah.
good games and enough massive actions. Like he looks like a player who wants to lead the team. You know,
Yeah.
he's a but passing is not good enough. Could be better. That kind of thing. Overall, I'd say is that the recruitment mess ups that have bankrupted effectively this club look like they've disappeared. More structural sanity within the club. So you could,
Yeah.
in the next 3 to 4 years, start building a much better team. Much better
Yeah.
team. Let me give you another example. Right now, it's an absurdity, but Kobe Manu's team is putting out reports that he deserves £180,000 a week. And the question from me is for
Yeah.
what? For what?
Yeah. Exactly.
What have you
Exactly.
done?
He's done very
Your only potential, right? Your only potential.
well.
Ahmad is on 120 and he's done 3 times or 10 times what you have so far. Why the hell do you
Yeah.
get 180?
Exactly.
Right? So if you want to leave, please, the door's that way, go. That is something this management team will do, which other past
Yeah.
management teams, because of the profile of a player, young player like Menu, who's supposed to be the guy who's the heart of your club, that kind of thing, they would have
Yeah.
uh, sank to the floor for them. This
Yeah.
is the season in which the getting Rashford out the club is not Rashford as a player. It is the wage structure. It's his wages. They want
Yeah.
him out so that they can start capping wages. This is finally in 25. They are trying to undo the mistake they made by signing Alexis Sanchez in 17 and
Hmm.
breaking their wage structure by signing Alexis Sanchez. That is being
Yeah.
undone finally in 25. So these are all good positive steps. It is
Yeah.
not
It's a
going to
long road.
translate into great football immediately. Football will be
Yeah.
what it is. Even on the football last 4 games, I think structurally looking better. Execution can be better, but structurally looking better. It is what it is. Long term future looking better now than ever before in the last
Yeah.
10, 12 years.
Well, the thing is, guys, I forgot to mention it at the start of the football thing. The two teams we'll be focusing mostly on in football will be Man United for Nikhil and Real Madrid for me. That's my favorite team, has been since I was 13. I'm pretty sure Man United has been Nikhil's favorite team since a similar age.
Came back with videos and sort of posters of Ryan Giggs and Eric Cantona and all of that, and I sort of got suckered in
Mm,
like 92, 93, 94. And then I started following them. Brian Glanville used to write a column on Sports Stars to be one of the end pages, which was on European football. And I used to wait for the article on United from time to time. Then in the mid 90s, we started to get telecast of the Champions League. And then we started to get
mm,
telecast of the league itself. And it was just a
yeah,
natural team for me to follow from there.
yeah.
So,
For
I
me,
mean, your team, what is your comment on your team?
I will, but just one moment. I want to dance on Man City's grave because they have been absolutely annoying me as well over the past few seasons. I have been, look, I don't mind them winning that one Champions League, but honestly, for me, Man City represented way too much that is wrong with football. Not the money,
The fucking
not the
cheats,
money
man.
spending. No, forget the cheating. Forget the cheating. I'll tell you what was the other nonsense. Look, uh, Pep Guardiola. I'm not even going to kid you about this. I hate his style of football after he left Barca.
So it was great at Barca because of who he had. How the fuck do you luck out to the degree to have Busi, Iniesta, Xavi, Messi, who's that? Who was Danny
Pe-
Alves, fucking David Villa, all of them
David
together,
Villa,
man.
PK,
All of them. PK and Alves at the back. I mean, they are such great ball players. And then you get that
Puyol,
midfield.
Puyol was there too.
Yeah, but Puyol is more of a defensive player. But the point was, you get that midfield, it makes this tiki taka more bearable. After
Yeah,
that, it's been boring as fuck. Like when he was playing it for Bayern, it was unbearable.
yeah, agreed.
With
But
City, again, he had the he's now realizing all the money in the world doesn't get you a KDB.
yeah,
All the
agreed.
money in the world does not replace Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, agreed. So
And
I'm very
he
glad.
has, to me, what he has done is first he tried to destroy Sergio Aguero's skill set by making
Yeah,
him
he
into
did.
that really boring within the goalpost kind of striker, and he's done it to
Yeah.
this guy. He's done it to Haaland.
Well, Haaland, yeah, he has done it. That he's done that. Yeah, yeah.
These are criminal things,
Which,
man.
yeah, agreed. Look, he's a great coach. He's one of the top 10. I'm not going to dispute that. But
No, he's
at
one
the
of
end
the
of the
top two, three. He's a theoretician.
no,
He's
he's one
great
of the
that
top
way.
10.
He's created.
No, he's one of the
He's been
top 10 because
one of the greatest to use positional football. I'll accept all of that, but he has destroyed so many beautiful elements of the game. Teams are today hesitant to even buy dribblers. Yeah, what if you lose the ball, or
yeah,
if a poor dribbler
yeah.
loses the ball upfield? They're suddenly like, oh, we got destroyed because he lost the ball. Boss, you can't set up defensive structures. What's the point of playing football if you can't account for dribblers? Yeah,
Yeah.
midfielders don't dribble anymore. They barely dribble.
Mm. No, but I mean, this goal scoring, I was just looking at Madrid's goal scoring and then I compared it with this. Obviously, this is a project which is being built, so I can see the vision behind it. Madrid is here. These were the ones you were mentioning, so I just thought, yeah, this. Now the thing for me about Carlo. Look, I love Carlo. I'm not even going to lie. He's one of the greatest coaches ever. I'm not going to mince any words about that. He has done way more for Madrid than he did for Milan, and he did so much for Milan. I'm not kidding. So
Might win the Champions League again, no?
he will. I'm not kidding. He will. He will. Mark my
I
words,
wouldn't
he
go
will.
so far as will. His draw is not an easy one.
Agreed, but the thing about Carlo is you put him and Madrid together. They've already won 3 Champions Leagues out of a possible 6 or 5. That's all he's managed. And the thing
And
about
won the
Carlo
most
is
one-sided CL final as well. That Liverpool final was Courtois just stepped up.
That was a Courtois became God for a day. Simple as that. Simple as that. I just thank his star. I thank my stars that he was there on that day. Have seen that final couple of times. We did not deserve to win that. We just somehow won that. Simple as that.
No,
Point
but
is
so
with
you say you did not deserve to win that. No, but you say you did not deserve to win that. But this is what Carlo does, right? Keep you stable, right? As much
yeah,
as he
he does
can.
that.
And then he
Yeah,
knows the one weakness he's attacking. And what was the weakness he was attacking? Trent Alexander-Arnold's position, his
yeah, yeah,
positional play.
yeah.
Got
Yeah,
Vinny
that's
behind
where
him, got the goal. And he
yeah,
got behind him twice. He missed the first one, he got the second one.
second one. Vinny got behind him twice. Now there are a few things I want to talk about the La Liga table. First of all, look, I look caveat here. Like every good Real Madrid fan, I hate Barcelona. I absolutely despise the club. I despise it to all eternity. I love Messi. I hate Barcelona. I've hated Barcelona ever since back then. I have no issues with Atletico Madrid. It's crazy as it might sound. I have zero issues with Atletico Madrid. I love Simeone as a coach. He is the one guy who will do defensive football better than most modern managers, and he does it very well.
Yeah, he does it. He
So
plays it nicer and better than Mourinho, for example.
agreed. It's more attractive to see. This is one of the reasons why this year's La Liga, if it's not Real Madrid winning, let Atletico win. I don't have an issue with that. I really don't because they have been playing superbly well. Barca, no, never. I cannot stand them. And also, they beat us 9-2 over two meetings this season. That has been a nightmare on my mind. That's a
Dude,
different issue.
dude, a word for Athletic Bilbao, man.
Yeah,
That's a
where are
club that
they? I
doesn't
don't
buy and
remember
sell
where they were
foreign
on the
players.
table though. Oh no, the fourth you mean? Yeah, yeah, Athletic Club. Yeah, yeah, they're not mentioning
No,
Bilbao,
dude.
so I keep on mention. I keep on forgetting that they're Athletic Club Bilbao and not Athletic Bilbao Club. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So, no, this is an
uh,
incredible performance, man.
yeah. Girona did it last year, so every year you have a team that somehow rises up and does it. So it's not really a surprise. But the thing is, you know the crazy part about La Liga.
No, so let me ask you a couple of questions about Madrid. I wanted to, my, I do another podcast with a couple of guys, Hitesh and Ranga, and
Mm.
they're very. It's all football, and they're very passionate, right? So very precise about it. So they are one of them is exceptionally low and critical about uh, Jude Bellingham.
Okay,
Says Bellingham's skill set is actually not as great as people pretend for it to be.
okay, and
What do you think?
okay. Yes and no. I would say is not completely wrong. I'll tell
Then
you
he's
why.
right. Then he's right. He may be wrong in degree,
No,
but
no,
he's
no.
right.
To a degree. I'll tell you why. Bellingham is a very good runner. He has ceaseless energy. He's superb in tackling. He's great in winning the ball. He's great in those kinds of situations. As a creative, brilliant midfielder like Kaka, he's not that. Simple as that. That, for
I
me,
don't think he has either the incisive passing or the dribbling.
he has the ball winning capability. That one
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
cannot deny.
He's
He's
English,
he's
dude.
an
He's English. He does the thuggery.
Yeah, he does the thuggery. He does it very well. You want to know who my favorite Real Madrid player is?
No, no. So
It's
that way, I
Valverde.
was saying that even in the Euros, the central midfield, core central midfield skill, actually,
Yeah,
Menu possesses it more than Bellingham
possible. Certainly possible. And in
because
Madrid, a
Menu's
lot of
ball
his
retention is quite superb.
see. Other thing is in Real Madrid, a lot of his faults are hidden, and they're hidden very, very
Yeah,
well
yeah, yeah.
because you have
See, that when you talk about how is Carlo a great manager, that's what makes him a great manager.
man
Every piece
management.
fits so that your weaknesses are hidden and your strengths are. He won his last Champions League with Casemiro having a higher average position on the pitch than Modric and Cruz because he knew
Casemiro wasn't there in our last Champions League.
his the one last one with Casemiro in it, that Liverpool final, man.
Liverpool final. You're talking about the Liverpool final. I'm thinking of the
Right?
Dortmund
That
final. Sorry,
season,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. That season, no, no. After, but by the time Dortmund happens, he's already at United, right? That season,
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
he used him in a higher position than
Mm,
the other two because he knew Casemiro's lack of speed now doesn't make him as safe.
agreed.
Concealed him, used him so well, and then sold him to the stupidest buying club in.
Yeah, true, true. The thing is though, Real Madrid and Man United have a very big historical connection. We'll go into detail on that on another podcast. Actually, there's an enormous historical connection. Santiago
There is,
Bernabeu
there is,
was
there is.
actually yeah. We can talk about that
There,
in
there is, there
another
is.
one.
All the way back to the Munich disaster is a huge connection. Like these are
There's
two
a
clubs
huge
that look at
connection.
each other and say, "We are the royalty around here."
Yeah, but I think Madrid has taken over that mantle completely in recent times.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, Madrid. When you talk about the cheating of funding, there is no greater cheating in funding than Real Madrid. All of Spanish banking system is designed to keep Real Madrid doing whatever the fuck it feels like doing. Barcelona has to pull levers, etc. But Madrid are also the best managed club in the world. I have no doubt about this, which was not the case in the 2000s. Not
Yes,
until they
yes,
got
yes.
not until the third season of Ronaldo did they start to
Yeah,
look like they are properly managed out, thoroughly managed.
yeah, yeah. Agreed, agreed, agreed. The thing about Barca, though, they're terrible with the funds they do have, which is why they get into rubbish
Oh,
positions.
listen, Barcelona recreated Liverpool, yeah. Without the stupidity of that Courtois deal, Liverpool were never going to rise the way they did. They gave 130 for Courtois, man. It just
Coutinho.
re- it just re-
Coutinho,
Coutinho.
Coutinho,
Sorry,
Coutinho.
Coutinho.
Courtois is with
Coutinho.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, I know
Courtois is with
Coutinho. I'm
Real Madrid.
sorry, my mistake. But it totally changed Liverpool as a football club. It
Yeah,
changed
yeah.
who they could go and get.
I mean, look, for me, Carlos' main faults this season have been a couple of them. There have been a few, and I can point that out. Firstly, it took time for him to adjust to Bappe, but I'm fine with that. Bappe is playing really well now. That hat trick against Man City was chef's kiss. Honestly, one of the best performances I've ever seen uh, for a long time. Not the best performance ever. That goes too far, but he was brilliant. Vinny has been very good this season. I just think it is a shame he keeps getting red carded and yellow carded because he argues all the time. That's another problem. Then
Yeah,
for me,
he's got an asshole problem. He's an asshole.
and he is a Cancerian.
Emotional then.
Another. Yeah, and then we have the case of the greatest Real Madrid player in the team right now, and I have no doubt about that. He's my favorite player, Fede Valverde. What a player, man! He makes us tick. He is playing right back. He's playing right back better than all our right backs and left backs.
You know, he's a genuine talent, genuine world class talent.
He's going to be our captain for the next 15 years. He's not going to leave
And
Madrid
he's
until there is.
Uruguayan. Valverde is what we would have wanted, but Ugarte is what we got. That's life.
Look, but I mean,
Listen,
but you know,
as a Madrid fan, tell me this: isn't it a little boring that you keep getting the best players and you're playing with the best players? Like
not
you
always.
swept up. Oh fuck! Well, not always meaning not for the last 15 years. That is the case. Okay, you
No, but
when you see a slight decline in your midfield, you swept up all of the best French talent, all of it across the board.
yeah,
Right? I
yeah,
will give this. Your scouts are sensational, really
yeah,
sensational.
true.
But you did
Agreed.
this with defense
Agreed.
as well. So you get the odd failure like in Hazard, but outside of that, obviously you're buying the best players that are going to be successful.
Yeah. See, the thing about Madrid is what I've certainly seen from the past 5 years as far as Don Fiorentino Perez is concerned. And Fiorentino Perez is a god. I refuse to have any words against him. He's a chairman who deserves all that he's got, and he's a brilliant chairman. Simple as that. Point is, he knows how to pick talent too. And he picks talent young. He doesn't pick talent when they're old. That's a clear marker that he knows what he's doing. Like, for example, for me, the main issue with Ancelotti this particular year has been he's not been using Endrick as much. He should be using Endrick a lot more. He should be using Ada Guler, who's another sensational talent, a lot more. He should be using Brahim sometimes a lot more as well. But point is, these are small fidgety stuff. We have been inconsistent in the league. 4 losses, 6 draws. We haven't been great in the
Yeah,
league. That's my
he's
main
usually
issue.
good at knowing when to play whom. Yeah, he's generally good at that.
And the thing about Carlo is he can win the league titles, but he usually struggles over them. Last year was the exception, 95 points and easy league, but this time he's going to struggle to win it, or he's going to get second as usual. If we are going to get second, Atletico, please Atletico, never Barca, never Barca. I'm tired of Barca and nonsense. And thank goodness they're playing Lamal. That great kid is great. Honestly, he's one of the best footballers right now. But the issue for me is always has been he's being played 90 minutes, 80 minutes, 70 minutes. He's going to burn out by the time he's 25. Simple as that. He's young. He's 7 years younger than me. He's a great talent. He's an absolutely brilliant talent. But Barca are overusing him. He's way overused. He's not subbed out early. He's a great player, but he's 17. He's younger than my sister. That should tell you everything you need to know about how much they're dependent on the guy, and they're going to run him into the ground. Not everyone is a
Yeah,
Messi. You can do it.
especially with modern football, even though La Liga is less physical, the amount of sprints these guys need to do, his body will break. It will break down.
They already broke several of their youngsters. Gavi is
They did.
broken. Pedri is broken beyond repair. So many are broken beyond repair.
Ansu Fati, man, Fati को तो खत्म ही
Ansu
कर दिया ना
Fati.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah, Ansu Fati. They basically burned so many of their great talents, and you know what? They ask Madrid, why aren't you struggling like us? The reason is, well, we have basically bubble wrapped Endrick. Endrick is playing way less than Yamin Lamal.
No, that
And
was happening to even Shumeni for a while. When you first bought Shumeni, he was barely starting games, or he was being subbed off regularly.
look,
Kamavinga
so
wasn't being played all that often either.
Yeah, if you have a look at goals scored this season, yeah, Bappe is going to hit a 40 goal season and he's going to become pretty much he's going to win a bunch of awards from now on. I have no issues with him fitting in. Vinny has dropped his goal scoring, but he's assisting a lot more for obvious reasons. Rodrigo
Yeah,
is
but
a forgotten
for a wide forward, 18. This is just the league or overall?
overall
Okay. Ah, yeah, 37 appearance, 41 appearance. Okay, so 18 is still pretty good for a wide forward. Yeah.
winger. He's purely a winger this season.
Oh, he's playing him wide, playing him properly
Yeah,
wide.
yeah.
Oh, that's really impressive. Then.
Yeah. But the thing about Vinny is he sometimes is a little too selfish. Sometimes, not always, but it can be an issue. Rodrigo, what a forgotten gem. Honestly, that
Yeah,
goal against
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Atletico Madrid, my God, that man can dribble and he's so good on the ball. Just gets underappreciated because just look at the other names on this list. You're bound to get forgotten because these are the kind
No,
of
no,
names on
but a
this
heck of
list.
a player. I'll acknowledge this. Heck of a player. I
Yeah.
mean, it's very sad for me to watch this because to me, it's like even your third worst reject can walk into my team. So
Forget reject. I think you can use Endrick at this point.
oh, we could use anybody, boss. I could use peak Baichung Bhutia right now. We're not scoring anything in front of goal.
Look, Endrick is a genuinely good talent. He's not
Hey, Baba,
polished. I'll
I'm
give
not
you
disputing that. I'm not even being half funny when I say I could use peak Baichung Bhutia right now. My guy
exactly
is
my
not
point.
scoring.
Exactly my point. Look, for me, the issue has been Endrick has been getting way too less time. Like,
Yeah,
I get
this
it.
player I really like. This Arda Guler, a beautiful
Guler is a
footballer,
great player. Guler is a great player, but
superb
honestly,
footballer.
for me, look, if you're going to use him as a striker, his home is not going to make it.
He'll fit at Real going forward. I don't know if Guler will fit at Real going forward. Which
That's
position does he
precisely my
play?
point. That's precisely my point. I don't think he will fit in unless, Modric retires this year and he just becomes a central midfielder instead of a playmaker.
He's too slight. Doesn't have Modric's speed.
Yeah, but I mean, he could become, and a left footer is always an advantage because if you look at our, goal scorers here, Bape is basically a by-footer. You can't even classify him as a right footer anymore. He's that good on his left foot. Vinny is a right footer. Rodrigo is a by-footer. His left-footed goal against Atletico told me all I needed to know. Bellingham is a right footer. Valverde is a by-footer. Brahim is a lefty. Yeah, that's fine. But Endrick is a lefty, so that's actually an advantage. Endrick is a very good left footer, but he has a storm of a right footer. He has a gun of a right foot too. For me, Endrick should have gotten more games this season, but that's literally the one of the few problems I have. But Ancelotti, yeah, some issues are there. He sometimes dozes off on games. He just forgets he has to sub off some players who are struggling, forgets to sub off other people who are not doing stuff. But there are a couple of really good young chaps who are coming up, like Marco Asensio is coming up, and he's a defender. He's from the youth academy. A couple of others. I actually don't understand why Ancelotti keeps playing Lucas Vasquez. Lucas Vasquez has gone well past his sell by date. He has to be just transferred out. He's done. I don't see him playing much anymore. If he wants to have a second team role, that's fine. He can stay as long as he wants because he's a Real Madrid legend. He has 5 Champions Leagues medals, so I'm not going to question him. But his time here is done, in my opinion. Modric, according to me, I would have loved it if Cruz didn't retire and Modric retired. We got the worst of the flip arounds. Modric is going to stay for I don't know how long, but he still plays well. I'm not going to say he
No,
doesn't
and
play well.
Cruz is young enough. Yeah, Cruz 34.
Yeah, and he's retired. My point
Yeah, it's a
is,
little
he's
maybe he had 2-3 seasons in him. Yeah.
four. I would argue four. He played wonderfully in the last year's Champions League. He was superb throughout. He didn't miss passes. Bellingham misses the passes he does. That's the problem. He's so good. He was so good. Point is, Modric is 40. 40. You're pushing it. You're really pushing it with him.
No, no, we're beyond pushing it. 40 is beyond pushing it.
Exactly my point. Look, I think he wants to get the record of most Champions League medals. I honestly believe that's literally what he's trying for because he already has 6. If he gets his 7th, he's going to be past everyone else.
Who is ahead of him?
Nobody's ahead of him. All are Real Madrid greats who are next to him. Paco Gento is the only one outside of the present generation, and he won all of his in 50s and 60s. Everyone else is, Real Madrid legends like Ramos. I think who else? Ramos. I would say, yeah, Nacho. Nacho would have 6 as well. All of these guys won 6. So yeah, I think he's going for his 7th and saying thank you, bye bye. Yeah. but that's pretty much it. That's what he's going for. That's the issue. But for me, this is a great scorecard, but there are certain issues. And Bape next year, I'm thinking he'll hit 50. I'm not even kidding. He's really found his footing. And he's playing so unselfishly. He does not even bother to, shoot first all the time. He's playing so unselfishly.
Is there
I'm
a
loving this kid.
managerial change on the cards?
Maybe not next year because he has a contract until 2026. And I don't see. Look, if he wins either the league title or the Champions League title, I don't see Perez firing Ancelotti. Simple as that. If he wins one of the two, it's not happening. And Ancelotti is not one to mess both up. He'll mess one up. He won't mess up both.
Yeah, but that CL group is the CL draw is right now not easy here.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll have a problem with Atletico. We have already beaten them 2-1. So this is not really an issue in my opinion.
No,
Our
but then
main
you'll have Liverpool and
or Barca or
or
Barca.
Barca,
That's going to be the problem. Yeah, that's
right?
going to be the
That's
problem.
a tough one.
Yeah, that's a very tough one. I agree with you. Barca have just had our number. They've been very mediocre in certain games, but in some games they've been like against
They've killed Real Madrid. Like they've wiped
they've
Real
killed.
Madrid.
Yeah, they've really killed us. Yeah, but against Benfica, that game was unwatchable, just straight up unwatchable. 1-0, awful, and they've got a red card as well. Pretty bad. Benfica can actually knock them out next time. It's not implausible, in my opinion. They have not been playing well. And then hockey. Let's get into a last bit of hockey. So this is the FIH World Pro League, where the top teams compete for spots in the World Cup. The A against Belgium and Netherlands basically indicates that they are, qualified because they're hosts, and green will be the only qualifier for the World Cup. Indian men's team have done really well this time. Really well. They had
Yeah.
a tough draw. They won against Germany. They won against Germany. They won
Yeah.
against Germany. They won against England. They've been pretty damn good. And look at the goals conceded. 12 goals in 8 games is excellent for any
No,
hockey
and
team.
we've transitioned a generation.
Yeah. I only wish PR Srijank
Also,
was there.
we are one of the few teams that plays some fun hockey. Like we have dribblers. Yeah? We have guys
Yeah.
who are really good on the ball.
The one issue, and it's always been an issue, we are absolutely awful at penalty corners.
Bro, not since Jugraj have we had somebody who could consistently put them away.
I mean, Harmanpreet has figures of like 3 for 20, 5 for 20, 6 for 30.
So the Olympics was lost on this. We had it, yeah. We had it. If we go
Yeah.
and do a penalty corners properly, we're fine.
No, I mean, it was not just us. The problem happened across all teams except Netherlands or Germany in that Olympics. Australia took 20 penalty corners against us and scored one. 20 against us and scored one in the same tournament. It was absolutely rubbish. It's not just us. It's crazy. We just don't know how to finish penalty corners. And we keep on doing the same routine. It's always Harmanpreet, Harmanpreet, Harmanpreet. Very few times have I seen somebody else. It's kind of maddening. It's very maddening.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. But can you notice the other important feat from here? The Asian teams are completely gone from this table. The Asian teams except India are all gone. All gone. Simple as that.
I mean, so we're really looking at Malaysia, India,
Pa-
Malaysia,
Pakistan,
Pakistan,
Japan, Japan.
Korea, and Japan.
Yeah.
What happened to the
And they're all
Koreans, man? The Koreans
Koreans
lost
are
their
gone.
speed.
Japan was a better team than Korea for most of my life. Pretty bad. Look at Australia on this table. Look at
Yeah, that's
Australia
very
on this
surprising.
table.
Very surprising. Very surprising.
I mean, for
I
all
mean,
look,
we basically went and lost one game extra. Yeah. If we
yeah,
hadn't lost one game,
we could have
uh,
hit a gold medal. We could have hit the gold medal in the Olympics. Yeah, would not be surprised. But the crazy part about all of this, what it makes me feel, we should do a cricket style takeover of hockey as well. Then these guys also will be on top of the world. Simple as that. Odisha has shown the way, and we can do it.
no, it's all right. I mean, you need the financial muscle within your own country for that, right? Like, not enough people watch our hockey league.
That's the sad part. They should.
In fact, the world's hockey league is still Europe.
Yeah.
The professional leagues that are played are still Europe.
No, you know what's the best performing team which has really come up in the recent times? Argentina. Look at them.
Yeah.
Argentina.
That I'm aware of, well aware of Argentina. Argentina is a very good team, very physical team.
Yeah. We
But
only drew against them.
England has always been up and down. England are up again. It's very sad to have won an extra game over these guys and then not be the one on top.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? I mean, another round. We are not. This table is not the finished table, by the way. It goes on until June, so we still have chances. We
Now,
play
tell me
each team
something.
twice.
What is the SOW?
Which one?
No, in the columns. What is the SOW column?
Uh, I think. Yeah, shootout win, shootout loss. They don't have
Ah,
draws.
so shootout wins, you get 2 points for the win.
We don't have a single shootout win or loss. We finish everything in normal time.
Okay, but the shootout wins give you 2 points instead of 3 points.
I
That's how
think so.
England land up with 16. And
Yeah,
Belgium.
at 16 as well. Yeah,
Oh, but shootout losses also give you 1 point.
1 point. Yeah, that's the reason why. 1 point. Yeah.
I will make myself more knowledgeable on this stuff the next time we do a podcast. Honestly, not seen a
Yeah.
single game. I can't comment. I have some knowledge of hockey because I watch it during the Olympics and I watch other games that are telecast. I know what the general development of hockey is.
Yeah, I will do more research on this topic as well. And why just the men's team? We'll go to the women's team as well. Yeah, you can have a look at this. This is the women's team.
They have a massive win against the Netherlands, right? Massive win
Yeah, they
against
won
Netherlands,
against the Netherlands. Yeah, they won
which was
against
a
the
shootout win.
Netherlands. Yeah. Brilliant win. But I mean, this is the difference between men's and women's sport. Just look at China. Just look at China. I mean, China tells pretty much everything. Chinese men's hockey team is absolute rubbish. Complete rabid rubbish. Junk. You can junk it. But the women's team is one of the best in the world. In fact, that's what I'm going to see even in cricket. I am predicting, Chinese women's cricket team will be in a World Cup soon enough, a T20 World Cup too, but not the men's anytime soon. By the way, on the T20 World Cup cricket podcast, I have some few interesting cricket teams I've done some research on. Japan's cricket team being one of them. We are probably going to see Japan in a cricket World Cup soon, if not later. Sooner, if not later. Believe you
Yeah,
me, that's
given their baseball hitting prowess, they should be able to be. They should have decent hitters for T20.
baseball. They are the best team in the world. They have surpassed the US a long time ago. They have surpassed the US.
Ahead of the US, ahead of Cuba, ahead of Dominican Republic.
Yeah, team like if we look at China's brilliant, rise in women's hockey, and you compare it to male hockey, it kind of shows that women's sport is probably an easier investment than men's sport in general. I think.
Fewer competitive teams, I think. Then physical gaps are smaller.
Yes, agreed.
Right, pool of sports is smaller.
And look, even the Argentina women's team is here. It's right there. Okay, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to, follow more of us. And we will be doing this as a pure passion project. Right now, we are just passionate fans who do some research. And this is not our first job, and it won't be our first job. You can bet on that. It won't be our first job. This is basically a weekly thing or a fortnightly thing. We're doing this out of passion and an interest in sports. Thank you from me, and thank you from Nikhil as well.
Thank you so much.